Democracies are not defined by our bad days. We're defined by how we come back from bad days.
But could Kinzinger?
Oh, come on. Is that all we got?
Democrat-controlled investigation.
Hold on.
Of bad days ahead.
Is that all we got for? Oh, here we go.
Decision to take part in the commission.
I want all Americans to be able to trust the work this committee does and get the facts out there free of conspiracy.
Is he going to cry again?
This cannot continue to be a partisan fight.
But if Kinzinger decides to run for re-election,
I missed it.
Congressional maps are redrawn.
Forget it, people. There's a reason why I'm starting with that. There's a reason why I'm starting with that, people. First of all, there's a longer clip of Adam Kinzinger. I don't make fun of people for crying. I make fun of people for lying. And Adam Kinzinger's cry was a lie. It was a theatrical he was trying to squeeze just a drop out of his eyes. You guys did it. You won. You beat them. They tried to. Anyways, why am I bringing that up? He finally blocked me. Oh my gosh, people. Hallelujah. Testify he finally blocked me. Adam Kinzinger has finally, once and for all, blocked the Viva Frei because I dropped one truth bomb too many. Do I see what his tweet was? I don't think I can see what the original tweet was anymore because I think because I'm blocked, I can't see the original tweet. Oh, I wish I could. I forget what it was. But I had to remind Adam Kinzinger that his prior assessments and his prior analysis, specifically of the war in Ukraine, have been so wildly on point. His opinion is one to be trusted. For those of you who don't know, this is a real tweet from Adam Kinzinger in response to a real tweet from John Noble. Throughout the conflict in Ukraine seen today, there is one Ukrainian MiG-29 fighter jet that is soaring through the skies of Kiev. This single fighter jet has already earned itself an alias, the Ghost of Kiev, and has already downed 6, all caps, Russian aircraft. To which Adam Kinzinger, military analyst, senior CNN analyst, military man, to the Ghost of Kiev, we raise a glass. Here's to even more. Buffoonery. Absolute buffoonery. He finally blocked me. Look, it's not to say I will not hide the fact that I do get satisfaction when a coward on Twitter blocks me. It is true. I mute people who are headaches and I mute people who are otherwise destructive to my focus and to my sanity. That's not to say I don't read the mute messages, because I do. I also mute the Autobots because there's this one like pro-Trump Autobot just automatically insta replies to everything with a link to some nonsensical thing. I mute people. Other people can still see their rubbish if they so choose. I do get pleasure out of being blocked by people because they just cannot handle it. And not only can they not handle it, they don't want their crowd seeing what I have to say. I say blocking is not so much for the blocker. It is more for the subs and the followers of the blocker, because the blocker doesn't want their subs seeing the truth. When they block, it's not to silence you, it's to prevent their following from being exposed to the truth, which is why I do get some sick, childish satisfaction out of being blocked, whether it's by Canadian parliamentarians, doctors who refuse to answer basic questions, and now, added to the list, Adam Kinzinger. Some of my most notable blocks: I think Kathy Griffin, Pink, Questlove, this guy here, Turnbull. There's a bunch of Canadian parliamentarians, cowards, liars, and political degenerates. All right, people, late show start today because some of you have not yet started Summertime for the Kids, but I have. So it is a fine balancing act between tending to 2 dogs, tending to 3 kids, trying to remain productive and trying to remain sane while also squeezing in exercise, family time, and all the other stuff. Ooh, have we got a show today, people? I thought it was going to be a boring show, and then the news just keeps piling up. Before I get started, I should be clear in the format for those of you who might be viewing me for the first time. I'm Viva Frei. We start on YouTube and Rumble. I have an exclusive agreement. I have an exclusivity agreement with Rumble. And what that means is that after a little while on YouTube, I end the stream on YouTube and we conduct and carry on this stream exclusively on Rumble and Locals, vivabarneslaw.locals.com. The link to Rumble is in the pinned comment in the chat. It's not there because I didn't put it there yet. I knew I was forgetting something. Let me put that there right now. And that's the format. Every day, pretty much the same thing, unless for whatever the reason to interrupt the stream would distract from the stream and it's not worth doing in terms of link to Rumble. That's the way it works every time, people. Let me go pin this comment here. Pin. And now the link to Rumble is in the pin chat. Now, before I keep going, let's just make sure that we are simultaneously streaming on the Rumbles. Are we not good on Rumble? We're good on Rumble. No, it says offline. Hold on one second. Are we not good on Rumble? Is this the day where Rumble still? Oh, okay. Hold on one second, people. No, it's working. You're good. Oh, okay. Why isn't it working? Okay, hold on. I'm going to go to Rumble. I'm going to go. I need to see it on my own here. I just got, okay, so here it is. Okay, there we go. The heck is the problem? Oh, I'm seeing an ad for how to escape the heat if you don't have an air conditioner. Okay, cut open some Coke bottles and stick some ice in. All right, people, sorry. It says restricted or private, Little Rock. I think it's back up now. And now, hold on one second. Little Rock, I tried to message you by email earlier or through Locals. None of it worked. Locals wanted $100 a month to message you. That doesn't sound right, Little Rock. I did set up the Twitter subscription, and I put it at $100 a month as a joke because I don't want any subscriptions through Twitter. I'll look into that. Let me screen grab that and see what's going on. So we are simultaneously now streaming on Rumble, on YouTube, and on Locals, where we look good. Oh, yeah, boys. Okay, we're good. Okay, so on the menu for today. Amazing stuff. We're going to go over an article in the New York Times that seems to confirm everything that people had been saying about the Yahtzee problem in Ukraine, which was widely reported on a decade ago, widely demonized a year ago, and is now being quietly admitted as truth again with a little bit of a spin that will make your head spin. We're going to get there. Jussie Smollett, I'm sorry. Elliot Page, Ellen Page, however anybody wants to refer to the former actress from Juno, who has now taken on the name Elliot Page and has gone full... in as much as anybody can change their physical appearance to appear as the different biological sex from that to which they were born, Page purports to be the victim of a hate crime. It kind of smells Jussie Smollett-ish. We'll get there. We're also going to break down some news out of Canada as relates to the forest fires and the generous, benevolent government promising to triple whatever donations anybody makes to the Canadian Red Cross to help with the forest fires, because apparently the 50+% taxes that some of us have paid in Canada or continue to pay in Canada are not quite enough. So the government's going to take your taxpayer dollars and triple donations to the Canadian Red Cross instead of doing what the government collects taxes to do in the first place. We'll get there. It still says restricted or private. Is the link in YouTube? Hold on. Okay, I'm watching it right here, Little Rock. Let me try this again. Everybody, hold on one second. Sorry, guys. Link to Rumble. You might have to refresh, Little Rock, but I think... Okay, this is definitely the one that I'm now... Replace pinned message. It's working. I can see it on my channel here, so it has to be good. Let's just see this here. The link, your YouTube goes to private. Arkansas crime attorney, I'm looking at your Rumble rant. I went to Rumble and searched. It should be good now. All right, and before we even get into any of the stories, you may have noticed that this stream said contains a paid sponsor, because it does. Let me go ahead and share the page. Genucell, people, you all know You know what type of person I am. I'm not the type of person to wear makeup or skincare products for good or for bad. Perhaps I should. But I'm going to read. This is the product. They've asked me to read a script, and I don't like scripts, but I'll read the script, and then I'm going to give you my own personal anecdote. The biggest secret to great-looking, glowing skin over the summer. I can't do it. More than staying hydrated and using sun protection is having great skincare products from our friends at Genucel. Look, I don't need. I'm going off script, people. Some people care about what they look like. They care about skincare, skin product. And I probably should. Maybe I wouldn't have blemishes on my face. Maybe I wouldn't have the little crow rings here. I have been using this stuff that the retinol thing, the little spritz that's supposed to firm up your face. And whether or not it's working, it might be working. People have told me that I look years younger. Some people are focused on it and some people don't. And I might be one of the people who don't. But for the people who do, quality skincare products are value added in and of themselves because there's nothing wrong with looking good and having nice, firm, young-looking skin. Genucel, it's a very interesting thing. I spent time with someone from the company asking them questions about the product. They have an amazing story. It's an Egyptian pharmacist who comes to America, opens up a pharmacy, makes his own blends of skin products, and this is how you know you struck gold. They're so good that when he gave them to his clients, not patients, his clients, they came back and they said, what is that stuff? It works. I want more of it. And thus a business was born. Made in America. I think they employ something like 50 some odd people. It's a big company. They are the sponsors for the New Jersey Devils. They make a bunch of great skincare products. They sent me a package. I'm using the retinol just to see if it actually works. I know that other family members have usurped or appropriated the product, which is typically how it works in our house. It's a great product. It's a great company. Genucel, if you go to genucel.com, promo code VIVA, you'll get 70% off the most popular package, which has all of that stuff. And that is it. Let me see if there's anything else I absolutely should have mentioned. Genucel.com, promo code. Get your Genucel Summer Essentials package right now. And it's great stuff. Genucel.com, promo code VIVA. And thank you, Genucel, for making a good product and for sponsoring a good YouTube video. Rumble, dude. Stop screen. Share now. Okay, what do we want to start with? I think we're going to want to start with Elliot Page. And we're going to start with this, and then we're going to go over to the Rumbles. And also, just so everybody understands how this works, after we go over to Rumble, I either post the entire stream on the main channel or snippets and clippets either on the main channel, Viva Frei, or on the Clips channel, Viva Clips. I also put the podcast audio version up on, it's on everywhere. There's on Podbean, vivabarneslaw.locals.com on Locals. No, it's Viva Barnes Law for the People. And you can find it on podcast. All right, so let's get to the story because it's interesting. And we must believe all people. I mean, it used to be believe all women. Until it became believe all Democrat women. And then it became don't believe the Democrat women if they criticize Joe Biden. And then it became victims of sexual abuse or alleged sexual abuse when it's done by your political leader have to become Russian assets, threaten them with prosecution, threaten them other ways, and then when they flee the country, mock them for having fled the country. This, for those of you who don't know, I'm talking about Tara Reid. This is from the New York Post. And just what I find remarkable about the article in the New York Post is the absence of any qualifying language, not alleged. What I find fascinating is that the New York Post article, not that the New York Post is a bastion of journalism, but they're decent and they've had some good breaking stories like the Hunter Biden laptop. There's no doubt, there's no suspicion, there's no hesitance. Foregone truthfulness of the statements, much in the same way we saw with Jussie Smollett before people started asking questions, which we're going to have right here. Elliot Page reveals chilling transphobic attack outside LA hotel. I'm going to effing gay bash you, F word, the 6-letter F word, not the 4-letter one. Actor Elliot Page has shared he was verbally attacked and threatened by a crazed transphobic man who shouted that he was the reason, quote, I need a gun, end quote, in Los Angeles last year. I thought they said last week, actually. Well, now I've got even more questions. Holy crab apples. I thought that said last week. And then when I said, surely they're going to have some video surveillance of this outside the shop, to which everyone responded, they won't, and stop calling them Shirley. Last year, just coming forward with this now. Okay, interesting. There's a convenient timing to this story as well. Page 36 was standing on a corner in West Hollywood on his way to Pink Dot convenience store when the enraged and hateful stranger approached him, shouting obscenities, according to the Los Angeles Times. I'm going to effing gay bash you, you F-A-G-G-O-T, I presume is the word, the man yelled, forcing the actor to bolt toward the store in fear. Employees at Pink Dot escorted a terrified Page into the shop, but the man allegedly followed him and stood at the store's doorway. This is why I need a gun, the maniac reportedly yelled at Page through the glass door. Page, whose dead name was Ellen Page, revealed he was transgender in 2020. Now he says he no longer feels safe in Los Angeles. Okay, so hold on 1 second. This story occurred last year. The New York Times article is dated June 4th this year. So we're now just coming forward with this story a year after the incident in time for Page's new book. Page is, okay, we got that part. Now when I'm in Los Angeles, I don't feel comfortable like I used to for walks, the Canadian-born entertainer said. The ordeal has shaken the actor, but he acknowledged that he has the privilege to stay in safer hotels and higher security if needed, unlike most people living in LA. Doesn't mean it's not traumatic, but yada, yada, yada. Okay, the Juno Star's recounting of the alleged verbal assault and threats comes in the wake of another story he recently shared in his upcoming memoir, Page Boy, about when a famous a-hole told him being gay doesn't exist. Okay, we got another story here coming out of the book. The actor added that another celebrity whom he described as an acquaintance insisted, okay, some other stuff. Here we go. That was it. Page Boy, the book, was released today with a brief tour promoting the memoir at venues all over North America from June 6 to June 14. So that's the story. And unless I'm misunderstanding something about the story now, I misunderstood originally. This is a story that occurred a year ago. Page is detailing events in Page's memoir and comes out with one about an incident that occurred a year ago. I guess we're not going to get any surveillance footage of this because it's probably too far in the past to verify. So we're just going to have to trust the story because we no longer have the ability to verify. That being said, probably like Mars Gold says, nobody's safe in LA. Oh, so that's the news. That's the latest story. So I wonder how much book promotion stunt is the obvious question. The thing is this, I'm reading these stories about, Page recounting all of these, making an inventory of incidents where people were assholes. I mean, that's it. I do have a long-running theory, like people aren't racist. They're not fat phobes. They're not... People are just nice, tolerant, or they're assholes. And if someone's an asshole, they're going to find a reason to hate someone. It's going to be because they're fat, black, Jewish, white, whatever. People who are a-holes will find a reason to hate. And so Page is putting together a list of incidents where people were a-holes, allegedly. Even if the incidents are accurate. I could put together a list as well if I were so inclined. I could put together a list of that time when I used to work at the bike shop and the floor manager told me not to speak English on the floor because it made the French employees feel uncomfortable. I can think about that time when I was in Quebec City, driving a friend home after law school, and the friend told me that what makes Quebec City a nice place is that they have no Jews. I can think of that time also in Quebec City where I went to a Palestinian conference to hear what the attendees were saying. And when I tried to partake in the conversation, an elderly French-Canadian man looked at me and said, "Le monsieur là, the man over there, if he's clearly an Israel supporter, if he's not Jewish himself." Everyone can make a list, an inventory of the time someone did something wrong to them. The question is, how long do we hold on to that list for? And what do we allow it to dictate in terms of defining who we are in the present? People are assholes. We're going to have to understand that. There are some. Others are good. We're going to have to understand that. We're going to have to move on without keeping an inventory of victimhood that we can bring it up anytime so we can say, value what I have to say now because of my victimhood and not because of other stuff. And that's all I have to say about that. All right. The lists can be dangerous. They can be dangerous. They can also be absolutely useless. And they can be useful in terms of creating crutches for yourself, excuses for what's held you back in life, excuses for why you are. Get over it. grow up, avoid it in as much as possible, and appreciate that some things never change. There will be jerks, there will be bullies, there will be beauty, there will be heroes in this world. Okay, let's do this. Let's go over now to Rumble exclusively. Why? Because I want to deal with that New York Times article, and I want to clip it as a highlight. Because the New York Times article on Ukraine, when you read it, it's going to blow your mind. And there's a particular aspect of the story that drives me particularly nuts, that I find particularly offensive. And it's where partisan politics defeats logic. It's where partisan politics becomes the guiding motivation of reason. We're going to get there. So what we're going to do now, everybody, I'm sending the link to Rumble. It's back in there in the chat. Let me see how we're doing on Rumble. Oh, and if anybody didn't watch yesterday's stream with Natalie Jean Beisner, go watch. Watch it. It was fantastic. Tomorrow, Sean Spicer. Coming up soon, Chef Gruel. Coming up soon, other people who I don't want to make them commit before I get there. But we're gonna have a bunch of goodness coming up on the menu. Now, okay, hold on. Actually, before we go over to Rumble exclusively, the Arkansas crime attorney, either your tip finger is broken or you intended to do this. I hope this is all intended. Arkansas crime attorney, Little Rock on YouTube. I'm not trying to dictate your shows. It's a legal matter, and you and Robert are excellent at that. Attorney, he says, you guys may have covered it. I haven't been able to follow you guys as closely as I was before the new job. It is dealing with Miles Guo. Screen grab this. I had something I wanted you and Barnes to check out if you have time. I just saw it today and it blew my mind. I could not believe it. Okay, I'm going to go look at this, Arkansas crime attorney. And thank you very much for the support. Now stop it. You're going to make me feel guilty. Okay. Arkansas crime attorney, thank you very much. Now let's go over to Rumble exclusively. Ending on YouTube in 5, 4,